Hi, everyone.
Hi,
This is
Sheila.
I'm Valerie, and we are 2 Days Liches. We are here today turning our blog into a vlog,
Yay.
and you can see all of our blogs at 2daysliches.com. That's our website. Today's topic is, guess what? Surprise, millennials are not the most entitled generation. Huh, who knew?
Surprise.
Surprise. So we often talk about and refer to the generations. So here are the generations' names and dates for your reference. So we start with the baby boomer generation from 1946 to 1964. And then they have Generation Jones from 55 to 65. That's sort of a sub-generation. Then the next big generation is us. Generation X. So we are a product of the baby boomers, and we are from 1965 to 1980. Then we have Zennials, which is a sub generation.
Yeah.
Born from 1977 to 1983. So I guess that makes my son a Zennial.
Yeah.
He was born in 1983. All right. And then we have millennials born 1981 to 96. So he really overlaps there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he could be considered a millennial too. Then we have Generation Z, and that was born from 97 or after. And Generation Alpha, born 2010 or after. So, it is important to note that all generations prior to the baby boomer generation are commonly referred to as traditionalist generations. So, we never started naming generations until the baby boomers 75 years ago.
Yep.
Every generation prior to that is referred to as traditionalists.
Right.
All right. Every generation has brought something to the table. However, we are quick to pass judgment on the younger generations, and I think it is important to clear up some common misconceptions. Often, you will hear people refer to millennials as being the entitled generation. In fact, they are notably the most demanding generation, and baby boomers are the most entitled generation. Who knew? Yes, I said baby boomer generation is recognized as being the most entitled generation. Baby boomers were raised by traditionalists and raised under corporal punishment. Strong survive, weak die. They were raised in a different generation and a different time than we were. Children should be seen and not heard. Don't speak unless spoken to. Shut up or I'll give you something to cry about. Close-minded parents, often more racist than not. Strict religious upbringing. You look after your own. Women didn't work outside of the home. It wasn't socially acceptable. Dad was king of the castle, and the list goes on and on. Baby boomers also grew up and started families when North America was prospering and did not even experience a recession until the late 70s, early 80s. And spend, they did. Notably, baby boomers were the first generation that made it socially acceptable for women outside of the home, and also for a divorce.
Yep.
Just saying.
Yep.
Let us talk about entitled and why baby boomers are considered the most entitled generation. Due to the fact that baby boomers were raised by traditionalists, their expectations are somewhat that of a traditionalist's expectations. They expect to be treated the same way they treated their parents, and so on, right? Okay,
And most families today have both parents working.
Right. So their expectations are somewhat of traditionalists. I'll get it out there. Yet our world has greatly changed in the past 75 years. Most families today have both parents working full-time jobs being the direct opposite of how the baby boomers were raised, as traditionally their mothers never worked outside of the home. Baby boomers tend to hold on to their traditionalist upbringing and values, wherein you look after your own, yet completely overwhelming themselves trying to look after aging parents and possibly grandchildren while working full-time. The expectation that there will be a decent government pension in retirement is expected by the baby boomers. After all, they've worked hard all their lives. Yet, all the other generations that have followed have pretty much figured out that they need to look after themselves first, thus giving the illusion that the younger generations are all for themselves and entitled. Baby boomers are a product of their traditionalist morals and values, of which laid the foundation for what seems like entitlement in a world that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
I don't want to crap all over the baby boomer generation, as my parents are baby boomers and I love and respect them dearly.
Right.
Without the baby boomer generation, hey, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
They laid the foundation for change. They really did. And with each passing generation, we have picked up that torch and pushed for more change.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, with change comes a new reality. And with that, we, the older generation, have more difficulty accepting and adapting with a reality that conflicts with how we were raised.
Right.
Yes, even us Gen Xers struggle with our new reality at times. Let's just say every generation after the traditionalists have affected change. And something we can all agree on is that we have come a long way. I say we need to stop passing judgment and trying to label everything, as we all have value no matter what age we are. We need more of that old-fashioned traditional respect and do unto others as you would have done to you.
Both ways.
Both ways.
Yeah.